Coucou guys, welcome to Not So French podcast, a podcast about living in Paris, feeling foreign, and finding your place in between. I'm Fariza.
I'm Fabienne.
And welcome back. Actually, today is our last episode. Could you imagine? It's 6 episodes and it's the last one.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I'm so excited. I'm excited that we did all this, the way coming here, step by step. And for me, it was amazing experience. Thank you guys for following us all this way.
Thank you so much.
And listening our episodes. And actually, yes, this is how our podcast, we didn't discuss actually during the first episodes about the format. So it's how to say, finishing podcast. So it's not like we're going on. I think
it's a one-time
yes,
podcast.
It's about our experience, because our experience is just so short as exchange student.
Yeah.
It was a couple of months. For me, it was a bit longer, but still, this is chapter of our life as exchange student, and it's coming to end the same as our episodes.
And I'm so sad that it's coming to an end. And I'm so grateful for everything, but I'm so sad.
Me too. I actually posted a couple of days ago that for me it was amazing experience, something really new. It's not first time living in Europe for me. I did my study. I'm an international student in Rome too, but it was so different here.
Yeah.
And
what are the differences between Rome and Paris?
Actually, today in the morning I had how to say it, I was thinking about how it feels, because it felt totally different for me. Because when I moved to Rome, for me, for these 2 years, I learned how to be independent, how to be strong. Because when you carry all your luggages, you cannot be weak. But here, for this period of my life in Paris, I learned to enjoy the moment, because it's short, and in the same time you want to take a maximum of this experience, and yes, just enjoy the moment.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
And what for you, in the end of this experience, challenge, trip, I don't know how to say it, all in once, what you feel now, what you learned? Or
I also feel very proud of you're going by yourself to a country you don't know that well. Yeah. So yeah, of course I learned a lot about myself and how to fix situationships and a country you don't know. So I'm very proud of everything I accomplished. But I'm also very grateful, and it also gave me more of a purpose of what I want to do after my studies, and in which field I want to work, because I really want to go to the fashion industry.
Yeah.
So it really made me give more purpose to that career-wise.
And also about the Paris, you talk about the fashion.
Mm-hmm.
And when I first I never been in Paris before moving here. And for me, Paris, it was just the city for fashion, nothing more. But after living a couple of months here, it's so much more. It's so much more.
Yeah.
Because for other people, I thought it's the same for everyone. Because everyone telling me oh, Paris, the city of love. And it's true, yeah. But for me, it wasn't like that when I just moved here. For me, it was just fashion, business,
yeah,
something, my career. But when I moved here, I just noticed, yes, it's it's so cultural. It's so cinema industry is so developed here. I didn't know. I knew that French people are more into the cinema. There are a lot of movies, amazing. But when you're living here, you're seeing this part of culture, also literature, art, and
yeah, they're really into French culture, and it's you can see it even if you're walking in the streets, you can see it. And the last couple of weeks, we've become more friends with French people.
Yeah, it's true.
And you can hear it from them and how much they love the culture, and it's
Yes.
amazing.
And also for me, it was interesting the thing that we discuss all these parts in our podcast.
Yeah.
Because like we did this podcast because we want to share our experience, and also it was for us too, just like revise what we experienced during this trip. Like it's not trip, it's like study, but still for me it's like trip. But yes, I mean like it was different. We choose these topics because I think for us it was the main thing that we noticed here.
Yeah, and we also didn't know what to expect about these topics before we came to Paris.
True.
So it's also to help international students to learn more about Paris and how it can be, and yeah.
I mean, of course, you could read the articles, ask GPT chat, watch the other videos, but here we're sharing something, intimate, something like, we can hear only for your friends while you're sitting and sipping coffee and talking. It's nothing like we don't filter anything. We're just telling our thoughts, like how we experience it. Like you become our friends in this past. Like we're sharing so much things about our experience here. So yeah, now you're kind of part of us. And I hope if you've never been in Paris yet, it will really help you to understand it even more, and like in a way, like not touristic way, but in real like experiencing it.
Yeah, and it's not like we shared a lot of statistics and how something is done, but more like about culture, fashion. We did talk about internships and like even if you want to work in the fashion industry, we had like all kinds of podcasts and topics.
Like it's like general covering everything that experience exchange students. In general about our episodes, like we had 6. Yes. Which one was your favorite?
My favorites.
I know that in the podcast usually people don't discuss your favorite episodes. I never heard like someone discussing like in my podcast. I love this episode, but as like it is like last episode, I want to like hear it. Like
and we can share maybe some behind the scenes and how it went.
Yeah.
But my favorite was the one we did with the Lost in Translation.
About cinema.
Which was surprising for me because I'm not that into cinema. But when we recorded the podcast, it went by so quickly. And we could just ask her anything. And it was so nice.
And it's so interesting, also about behind the scene. This episode we created because of Zuzanna. Because Zuzanna told us that she into cinema. She liked this field. So we decided to make the separate part of it because I don't know also nothing about cinema. And we learned in the process. We're creating this podcast more about it. And the thing that Zuzanna couldn't like come to this episode because she was leaving and that day because like we're all exchange students, so we just like figuring out in the way. So but it was amazing experience.
I think that's one of the hardest thing we had to do with like creating this podcast was finding dates that the studio was available, that we all were available, that if we wanted to invite a guest that they could come to like everything had to match.
I mean like yes, if you because like some people already ask me like, wow, you're doing podcast, tell me something about it.
We've been sharing some sneak peeks.
Yes, because like, when you do podcast, what I was afraid of that I can't talk on camera. I can't share my because I'm a talkative person. I could talk a lot by like sitting with my friends, but it's different in studio where you have camera, you have light, you have gas, and like microphone, and you're like kind of serious about it.
Yeah, you can feel the pressure of like I need to say something now.
And like, what if I don't know what to say? But no, we don't have this problem. And also, if you just want to start it, just start. I mean, like in the process, you will like realize, like during your way, like how to like make it better, how to do it, and also it's just experience. For us, it's also first time, so
first time
I really like
podcast,
it.
Yeah. And also within the planning, we did like we planned to do initially 5 episodes.
Yeah.
And we created 2 more extra
Yes.
episodes. Like we thought 5 would be much in the time period we had.
True.
And we got 7.
I mean, like,
That's amazing.
It is. I actually didn't expect it. I mean, I thought like we don't have like so much things to talk about, but actually, like, you know what? One guest even cancelled because like of time we couldn't like schedule it, but with this guest it would be 8 even.
Yeah,
I think, but it's a lot. It's
it is.
you know, for me, my favorite episode was Friends with French.
Yeah.
I love this. I mean, this only episodes when we like it was 6 of us. It was like the studio was full, but I enjoyed so much. I mean,
That
for
was
me
amazing.
it was amazing because the thing, I was living here for 9 months, and I didn't have a lot of French friends. And the interesting thing is, last 2 weeks I started to talk with like a lot of French people, and like getting to know them better. I don't know how it's happened. I don't know. It's just like, you know, you're living your life, nothing happened, and just like last month everything happened. Like, I think it's like amazing part of like exchange. Like,
Yeah, I think everything happens so suddenly. Like you don't expect it to happen, and then you meet people like you're like, oh, I just met you, and you're nice, and then you become friends, and that's the crazy thing about like living abroad.
true. It's actually interesting because like I know that some of our group mates had a class with French.
Yeah.
And we also discussed it during our episodes. But I didn't. So for me it was
No, me neither.
yeah, it was more difficult to like interact with them because you don't know them. If you have some classes or something common, you can start talking, but if you don't, it's difficult. And it's amazing that I met them. I met them during the podcast, during the recording of our episodes. Like, amazing thing about doing a podcast, because also about cinema and Manon, she's so amazing. I mean,
Yeah.
she started it when she was like 21.
Yeah.
Like,
That's my age now.
Yes.
That's so young.
and this project is amazing. So if you didn't listen it, I don't know, maybe you skip some episodes, just go back and listen it again.
You should definitely listen to that one. And the Friends with French as well.
Yes, it's amazing. I mean, all episodes was amazing. It's part of our
Awesome.
soul.
Yeah.
But actually, during the creating of this podcast, I just want to say thank you very much. I mean, like today, it's like Fabienne and me, and it's really interesting because our first episode was like 2 of us,
Yeah.
and now like we're finishing this.
It's like the perfect ending.
Yes.
Yeah.
I feel like you saw our podcast, you started listening with 2 of us, and you're finishing with 2 of us. It's amazing. And during our way, I also want to say thank you to all our guests. You were amazing. Thank you very much. I really appreciate your part of it, and I hope you're listening it. And also thank you the girls like Zuzanna and Mouna.
Yeah.
It's like
The
our
whole
team.
team,
Yes,
like,
it's our
yeah.
our dream team. I
It
mean,
really
like,
is.
it's how it's created was so amazing.
And I also think that this podcast really brought us together as a friend group.
true.
Because before we didn't do that much together. And like now we do like almost everything. in
Because
Paris.
yes, we just like talk about our like class projects, etc. But then
Yeah.
this podcast started. We started to like interact more, and at some point, our group chat and WhatsApp about podcast became they just group chat for discussing where we go. It's
And, like
amazing.
what's happening like.
It's amazing. But also, in the beginning of our podcast, I want to say thank you to Hannah because she created our amazing logo. I
Yeah.
mean, like, could you imagine? Like, this is our face, and she created it. It's amazing. And Paxton, she was the person who came up with the idea of our intro. Like,
Yeah.
Coucou guys,
guys.
it was her idea. I mean, like, so many people was like part of our podcast, and it's amazing. I mean, like, also, the thank you to our amazing studio and people behind the cameras who helping to create this.
Yeah.
Because for me, it's also first experience being in studio. I was so nervous.
If you didn't have these people, it would be terrible because I had no idea what to do.
Yes. Yeah. And our school.
Our school, yeah.
I think
Of
it's
course.
more than like
The international office who helped us through everything, every problem we had.
I mean, like, we definitely put all the links of our school because, like, if you will be in Paris, it's an amazing school to study. I mean, I
Yeah.
will mention 2 schools because you study in IFAB,
Yeah.
I study in ICART, because it's a group of schools, yes? It's
Yeah.
like an,
Yeah, it's like the ADH group.
yeah, so we have different schools about communication, art, and design. So just choose whatever you want. And yes, international, like, support was amazing. And actually, they are like proposed the idea like if you want, you could use studio and create your podcast. So yes, and we did it.
Yeah.
I mean, like it was so amazing. I really love this experience here.
Same. So what was your like favorite experience in Paris? Like
In Paris. Oh,
the last
It's
few
difficult to say.
months.
it's difficult to say.
Yeah. But if you think back, like what's the first memory that pops up? Like you coming here or
It's funny. It's not favorite one. The first thing that pops up in my head is first day when I moved to Paris. It was awful. It's not favorite memory, but it happened. I just moved. I had like 2 luggages, really heavy, and
Yeah.
not all the stations metro have elevator or escalator. Nothing, just stairs. And I'm girl, and my luggage like weight like me, like no way. And first I didn't have apartment, so I lived in hostel. So I moved all my stuff to hostel. I came to hostel and I realized that they canceled my booking because I was 1 day late and I didn't tell them about it. And they just like canceled all my 6 day booking and all my payments with that. So, and like if you want to stay, you need to pay again.
again for the 6 days?
And also the thing, they didn't accept the card, so I went to make it cash, and it was awful experience. I was so tired. I was devastated, and I was like, when I just moved like to my room, I started to cry. And I cried for a couple of hours.
Oh, no.
This is my first experience in Paris, so I mean, like, it could be hard, but like.
But I feel like that's always the thing. If you're moving to a different country, the first few days feels harder, and you might also have like a culture shock or anything. So, yeah.
Yes, it was. But like later on, I mean, this I would say the worst day in Paris because all other 8 months were amazing. Yeah, well, there were difficulties because you exchange student, you have problems with documents for sure, maybe internship, etc. But the all other experience and the thing that I learned here as an exchange student, as Erasmus student, because we talked about it before too, that we have stereotype that all Erasmus students, exchange students came just to party,
Yeah.
just to have fun.
They're not that serious in the
Yes.
school.
But for me, it was learning the balance, like how to study and having fun. Because like
So did you party a lot in the beginning, or?
no, it was like vice versa.
Oh, the
First
other.
semester I was studying, and I didn't go out at all, almost. And it was, I think it's also the weather. It was so cold. I mean, like
Yeah.
if you're from like warm, hot cities, it will be for you also. Like for me, a bit stressful. I was at home all the time because it was so cold. I couldn't even move. I was in my blanket. So just be prepared that it could be cold and rainy often.
Yeah, like I'm Dutch, so it's like very comparable, like kind of the same weather. I would say that in Paris it's like 2 or 3 degrees hotter than it is where I live. So
it's better for you.
yeah. So if you're from the northern part, then Paris is great.
So yeah, different experiences.
Yeah. Yeah, because I also heard from a lot of people that, like people that came from New York, they think Paris is very slow paced, and
Yes,
but
I
people
was so
that
shocked.
came from like like small villages maybe, or like very quiet countries, that they think Paris is very fast paced. So everyone has such a different experience.
Also today I was thinking about, like Paris is so diverse. Even compared to Rome, it's so diverse, like so many people, so many cultures, so many styles. But I'm thinking, I think for Mouna, she's from New York. She's like, for her, it's not like that. She's like, no, because like, it's even way more diverse.
Yeah, she's like, when for us Paris is being loud and like you hear all the cars like honking, and she's like, that's nothing. Like New York is worse, and I'm like, oh, okay.
It's a different experience. Oh my god.
Yeah.
But I think this is the interesting thing about talking with people from different countries. And it's the most amazing part. That's why I love exchanges. I love to talk with people with different countries. Like the way how they see the world is could be totally different. And experience. I mean, like we have friends from Japan, China, Thailand, all the countries in Europe, US, Canada, and it's like, wow, all the world. And it was interesting because you're discussing with them, and the way how they start exchange, how they experience this life is so different.
It is different.
It's so interesting. I think this was, inspiration to create our podcast, because we was sitting at a cafe and discussing our experience, and like we was from we were from different countries, and we talk about how we feel it, and like, yes, I want to share it because like maybe you have different experience and you think differently, but it's so interesting to...
Yeah, it's really like an international friends group. Like everyone is from a different country, has like had a different past, so everyone has such different opinions about it, and it's, for me it was very surprising to hear about it actually, but like in a good way. Like if someone said something about Paris and I was like, oh, I just actually don't think like that, or I disagree, or then I'm like, oh, that's surprising to hear because I never thought about it like that. So
for me, for example, the surprising discussion with our group mate was first semester. We had a group mate from China, and he told us, how to move, how to do exchange or Erasmus, how difficult it is from China. Like you need to pay for that. You need to pay to agencies or to your school, something like that. Mm-hmm. Sorry if I'm wrong. But you need to pay a lot of money just to start your exchange.
Yeah.
I mean, I have scholarship from Erasmus. Like they pay me to survive here because I'm an international student. But from them, it's way more difficult because they need to pay to go abroad. And I'm like, wow.
Yeah, I also know from... I lived in Indonesia. Mm-hmm. And they, for them to get a visa to live in another country is really hard. Like some people I met there said it was almost impossible to get one. So it's really different, and each person has their own problems with coming to a different country.
And also I think even I'm from Uzbekistan, for us it's also difficult. I mean doing, for example, exchange directly from Uzbekistan to here, it is way more difficult because I actually never heard about it there. But I think there is some programs, but it's more difficult because also the visa stuff, the documentation is way more difficult because when you're in Europe, it's still easier to manage.
It is. If you're in the AU, yes, I can just drive to all the countries.
I was doing visa from Italy. I still needed to do visa from Italy to France, and it was 3 days, and they didn't even ask so much documents. But if I would do this from Uzbekistan, it would a couple of months maybe. You just book 1 month ahead the appointment. You just apply, you wait, and it's processed so long. And I just realized, it's so interesting because the people who live in EU or US, for example, they don't know all the difficulties with this documentation, But yeah, and the interesting thing that we're discussing, but I'm like, yeah, but some countries have even more difficulties than mine, and I'm like, okay.
Yeah, before I started like living abroad, I didn't know. I knew, but I didn't experience the privilege of like being living in the EU and like being born here to just travel to a lot of countries without a visa, without anything basically.
It's true. It is.
It really is. And now I also know that I need to take more advantage of it. I just need, if I want to go like on a holiday or something, I just need to take the car and drive to like France. Yeah.
And also, you know, the good thing about having friends all over the world, you can travel and meet them.
Yeah.
I just, you know, I asked all my other friends who was doing exchange, and also friends here who was like, I saw their stories or talk with them, and they just like, okay, I'm going to Germany because I have this friend. I'm going to Japan because I have this friend, that friend, and like, it's so cool. Like, I think it, you know, during my teenage, I have my diary which is written, I want friends for all over the world. And now
you have friends all over the world. Wow.
It's true, I'm telling you. If I would just like open the map and start to point the friends for the world, I think I have like more than half of countries covered. Because like,
that's amazing.
It's an amazing experience.
Yeah. And so we're gonna visit each other like all the time.
I mean like this project is like coming to end, but the memories, the friendship, the connection will stay. And I think maybe we'll develop this project into something new later on, because I mean like we're closing this chapter of being exchanged in Paris, but it doesn't mean that it's like done, so nothing going on.
No, there can be future projects or anything.
We could like make something cool. I mean, if you have some ideas, just tell us. Maybe you will just like
know.
Maybe we'll suggest something interesting and we could continue it and evolve into something new and cooler. And yes, because like it is amazing. It's amazing. Just I'm so grateful for this project.
Yeah.
It's like it's not like part of our study. It's just like we decided to do it, and for me it was amazing experience. And I hope for you too.
Yeah, for me it really was. Yeah.
It was amazing. Okay, just tell me in one word before we were finishing, because it's short episodes, we're just like saying goodbye and that's it. Tell me like in one word how you will describe your all this like your way like path here in Paris, like all your Paris life.
Ooh, that's a difficult one. I'm thinking of so many words right now. But I think I'm gonna say like lovely. It's the city of love. I met a lot of lovely people, which became my friends, and I'm just like filled with love and gratitude. So lovely.
It's so sweet of you. But I could agree with that.
And for you? Do you have a word?
Oh, for me, I would say maybe joyful. Is there a word like joyful?
Yeah, I think joyful is a word.
I mean, like, sorry for my English. I probably did a lot of mistakes during this podcast, but like, it's my third language, so I'm improving it. But yes, just to know. Yes, because like it was so much joy. I mean, like it was difficult parts too in this like experience, but in general, it was so much joy for me.
Yeah,
so many people, so many experiences, and I'm in love with. It's like not just the city, but the people, the experience, and everything that was like in this process. It was amazing.
Yeah, it really was. I could agree with joyful.
Yes.
We had a lot of fun.
Yes. Yeah. So, come to Paris, enjoy exchange life because it's so much fun. Enjoy. And yes. And guys, I hope you loved our piece of Paris. So stay bold,
Stay curious.
and stay tuned. I hope to see you later.
Yes.
Bisous, bisous.
Bisous, bisous.